Hello and welcome to the Path of Least Resistance New Player's Guide. You are watching my first go at Yasuo against the Title Trickster, or I guess my first attempt at the Title Trickster, and we are using Yasuo. And today we're going to go over what we did on days 8 and 9. So, this was largely an attempt to get silver reliquaries for relics and also vaults for shards. So, the current problem we're running into is that we have 7 pretty good champions going. So we have Yasuo, Jhin, Volibear, Lux, Swain, Misfortune, and Jinx? I don't know if I said that twice, but whatever. We have 7 good champions going. Jinx, Yasuo, Lux, Volibear, Swain, Jhin, and Misfortune. But we are missing, let's say, a Bandle City champion, of which we have none. Our Demacia's champion in Lux is only 2-star, same with Volibear, only 2-star, 3 stars, much better for both of them. We don't have, like I said, Bandle City, we don't have Targon, we don't have Shadow Isles, and we don't have Shurima. We could fix Shurima by getting the Auction fragments, but I don't like him and I don't think he's good, so... But he might be good enough for lower level content, but he's not going to be our end game here. I don't want to use him against 5-star content. I think that without getting his 4-star at least, his game plan doesn't make any sense, and none of his cards actually work to do what he is trying to accomplish. He has no way to target himself, or limited ways to target himself. So you're not advancing your landmarks, and then when your landmarks do end up advancing, you don't have rally usually, so you can't attack, and just overall I think Auction's a mess. But he might be good enough for low level content. We can use him to farm out some of those vaults that we need. So here we have what we are kind of looking for in champions. Like I said, we are doing poorly on Shadow Isles, although Viego does have like a decent amount of fragments for us, so we should be able to swap him in. I think Viego's strong, and so I don't know what relics I would use on him, but I remember him being really strong and really easy, so that should probably be fine. We can also get free Viego shards by doing his Nightmare Adventure, which we'll probably do tomorrow. For Bandle City, we're very low on Veigar. I think Veigar is the best Bandle City champion, probably by like a long shot, so he's going to be pretty important. For Bilgewater, we're doing okay on Nami shards, but not great. Demacia, we're still missing Garen shards. We could also get Lux up, but Garen will give us loose cannons payload, and I think might be just a little easier. Garen's just really strong. Volibear, we do want his 3-star at some point, but he seems to be doing okay with his 2-star. We have nothing for Ahri. You could sub in Lilia, and that would be fine, but I don't think we're doing super well there either. For Noxus, we do have Swain at 2 stars, and Swain is incredible, so we might not need to move to Ambessa, but I really like playing Ambessa, so I'm hoping we do pick up some shards there. Runeterra, we have nothing for Evelyn. We might end up going Fiddlesticks because we can get Fiddlesticks stars from Fiddlesticks Adventure, which would be nice. Shadow Isles, we're just really dissolute on because we do need 2 champions, and at best we're only basically starting to build 1, and we have basically nothing for Morgana, and I think she's the best Targon champion by a wide margin. For our relics, we have nothing on Bard, nothing on Vi, and then Darius is only at 20 shards, and we do need this to happen in order to get those relics from them. So the sooner that we can get that activated, the better. Checking to see, yeah, I actually have 0 Vi shards. I thought I might have had some from somewhere, but I do not. So the amount of fragments we need if we want to get all the things that I have in this list is 1010. Currently we are sitting at 199 wild shards, which is, you know, somewhat less than 1010. So that is where we're at on shards. And this is one of our stopping points on what we can accomplish. It won't stop us soon though, so that's fine. We also have some, I guess, alternates that we can use. So Lux Illuminated is getting close. Pike, it has 80. I don't really like playing Pike, but if he hits 3 stars, he's probably going to be okay. We're close on Needly, but she's on the list, so we're kind of planning on using her anyway. If Kai'Sa were, for some reason, to get all of the shards, we could try that. Victor's also like another okay option, although PNZ is covered with Jinx. And yeah, everything else is just not enough shards to really factor into the calculations here. We can get Elder Dragon, so we might end up doing that because Elder Dragon shards are incorrectly dropping from the Rogues of Runeterra event, which we haven't spent a whole lot of time in, but we did do a little bit of it. So on day 8 we did a bunch of things trying to get Silver Reliquaries. So Prodigal Explorer, this is, oh right, I lost here, that's why it's the same thing twice. We did Prodigal Explorer and Saltwater Scourge, and then, but we also did the Desert Rose a couple times to unlock Scorn of the Moon, and then we did Scorn of the Moon. I did this to get Jhin, so we got Jhin fragments there. We got 45 plus, we got 40 from the Battle Pass, which put us at 85, and then we spent 15 shards, I think, to finish him off and get him to 3-star. Oh no, we just had enough fragments, so we had fragments from somewhere else. So yeah, we were able to get Jhin to 3-star, which is great. Jhin is good, and he's been doing Jhin things and helping us out. So yeah, also I think Scorn of the Moon is actually easier than the Desert Rose because Akshan is very powerful. If you can remove him regularly, that probably would help a lot, but I haven't really had the experience where I'm doing that. Mostly he's just killing me. So it's a little bit of a problem. We did Jin's campaign, obviously, as soon as we unlocked him, and then we've just been farming for gold vaults basically all of today. Gold and platinum vaults, we need shards. Shards will let us... Everything that we get from a gold or platinum vault is wild fragments that we don't have to spend, and wild fragments are decently difficult currency to acquire, so yeah, that's kind of where we're at there. So if you can look on this list, you can't see all the way across it because I'm blocking it with the video, but we have a lot of gold vaults, a lot of platinum vaults. Wild fragments don't really show up very often. So we have some in the title Trickster, already got one of those, but there's 20 more. There's 20 in Ruined King and Ancient Fear. So like overall, I have 60 more wild shards that I know I can get. And everything else is going to have to come from a gold or platinum vault. So I'm actually a little... I guess there's 15 fragments up in... 60 fragments up in the Dragon's Sire, which is nice, and I actually don't know what the Grand Heist gives us. I think it's just going to be gold star vessels, so we're not really depending on that. But yeah, basically, if we don't get the right shards, we're going to be trapped, and we're not going to be able to do anything, so we want to spend the least amount of wild fragments as possible, which means eating up all of the vaults available to us as quickly as possible so we know what we're working with and so we know how to spend. And until we know that, we can't really do anything. I will probably get Garen to 2 stars at least to unlock Loose Cannon's payload. That seems important to me. For our champions, we have Jinx over here at level 21, and these are the relics that we're using. So we have Jhin at 12, Lux 13, you can just look at this list. And then for relics that we picked up yesterday, we did get Chemtech Duplicator, which is incredible. We got Troll King's Crown, which is also good. We did get a bunch of duplicates, which we were unhappy about, but you know, it happens. And for relics that we're still looking for, We still need Lost Chapter, Dreams of Yordles, Luskan's Payload. These come from campaigns, so we should get them at some point by force. And then we have Curator's Gatebreaker, Guardian Angel, we're missing Star Gems, and Gale Force. Gale Force is something that I'm not actually counting on to have, because I don't think that it's likely that we'll pick it up in the Emporium. But this is what we are trying to do. So our major goal right now is just trying to get, also we finished a bunch of quests here. Our major goal right now is trying to unlock one champion of each region so that we can complete the adventure requirements and get more things to unlock more champions to complete more requirements. So that's where we're at. And also because the whole point of this is to complete all of the things. Yeah, so. And then for where we are, we want to count the requirements. I didn't do anything. Alright, so there are 208 total adventures to go through. We've done 68 of them, which leaves us with 140 left. 21 days to do it, which means we have to do an average of 7 per day. Some days possible, other days less possible. Also when you factor in like weekly quests, that's gonna reduce the number of things that we can do in a day, and also at some point we're going to need to level a bunch of champions, and when we do that, that's going to take a lot of time as well. I am not thinking that we're going to finish all of the requirements. I think we would have had a much better chance had they not added 43 on Wednesday. I'm happy that they did, but had they not, we would be at like 100 remaining, which would only be 5 a day, much more attainable. I don't know. I think it's fine. I think it's great. I think it's good that the game is adding more content, and I'm really excited to see how far we get. So, also I have to play my main account also, so that's the thing. That also takes time. But this is where we are at, and it's going pretty well. I think even, like I said before, even if we don't complete all the requirements, I think even now we have a good basis of like kind of what you're looking for to start the game. So we've gotten through like a bunch of the early adventures. We have built a nice stable of champions, and once we get like a couple more champions online, I think that's kind of enough for the new player experience to at least know where to start, what to do, what you're looking for, which is the whole point of this whole thing. So I'm pretty happy with where we're at, and hopefully we can finish them all. That would be ideal, but if we can't, I think this has been a good job anyway. And that is all for me. Thank you for watching. If you like what I'm doing, like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.